To be named. What's it mean to you to be back here and have your name in that Ring of Fame?
To sit there with my family and for them to get to see all of this it's really humbling. I'll be honest with you. I've never been like the best player on my team, whether I was in Little League or high school, college, pro ball, anywhere. And to have something like this for a guy that's 5'9.5" right-handed pitcher, it means a lot to me, and I think it means a lot to my family, and it's a tribute to the people here at Mississippi State.
Seen you at some basketball games this year. Just what is it like to come back and still be embraced the same way that you were even 30 years ago?
It's as cool as it gets, man. I'm just telling you, you just don't think about that stuff when you're playing. You just play ball, and you fight to win, and you do the best that you can. But that's the great part of Mississippi State, is that they don't forget. I mean, the folks here are like family. And it wasn't just because I won a bunch of ball games. That happened the first day I stepped on campus. I can remember being in one of the grocery stores that was over there on Highway 12, and I was walking down, and I mean, I'm from Alabama. I didn't know anybody from over here. And somebody comes up and says, "Hey, Jeff, glad that you're here in Starkville, and glad you're here on the baseball team." And I'm thinking to myself, how do you even know my name? But that's just the following that you get from Mississippi State.
Jeff, I know going to Omaha was a highlight, but what maybe stood out for your career here?
The last game that we played here was against Michigan, and there's never been a game before that or after that, even in the big leagues, that really kicked my emotions in as much as that. Because if you guys remember, the year before, in '84, I was on the mound when Stuart Weedi hit the home run, and it knocked us out. And New Orleans went, and we sat at home. And all of us thought, we got this. And to be out there and to be able to pitch in that ball game, even though it was a rough day, but to win that game and then have everybody put you on their shoulders, it's just one of those things it's kind of a once in a lifetime thing, and it meant a lot to me. It still does. When I think back of times here, that's one of the first things that pops into my mind.
You find a little irony in the fact that three guys from the same team make up 3/5 of the first Ring of Honor class. But y'all are so associated with this program.
Well, I get the Will and Raphael. I get the Thunder and Lightning. I played here with them. I got to see it because I was here the year before they were, and I got to see them come in and turn into the hitters. I've just never seen anything like it. And you know, you float the names around of Barry Bonds and Ted Williams and the guys that are the greatest hitters that have ever played baseball. Well, in my mind, I throw Will Clark and Rafael Palmeiro into that picture because that's what they meant to me. You can't win 18 games in the SEC without that kind of offense.
In fact, that team, that season, they have a documentary out of it. I mean, it's such a defining thing, not just for Mississippi State, but for college baseball and baseball in general.
Yeah, I think that you can have good players, you can have great players. But I think that club, there's so many guys on the back burners. I mean, with Dan Van Cleve, John Scott, Gator Thiessen, Bobby Thigpen, there were so many guys that were on that club that just didn't. We didn't take losing on a regular basis, and it wasn't as though we didn't lose because we were good. We didn't lose because we weren't going to accept it. And if Raphael had an off day, Will picked it up. Vice versa with Will. If I had had a rough day, it was Gene Morgan that was going to pick us up. And you look at all those other guys that played on the defensive side, and you don't really hear their names that often, but you can't do what we did without the whole group. I mean, it's just not about three people. It's about that whole group.